Do you think child obsesity is considered child abuse and neglectful parenting? My daughter's weight issues are the result of mental health issues. We had no idea why she ate so much all the time. It was like her off switch wasn't working. Long story short, we ended up taking her to a psychologist for a full mental health eval. Multiple trips to the pediatrician, a cognitive behavioral therapist, occupational therapist, encouraged her to move her body and eat healthy food, and finally, a psychiatrist. Ended up getting a diagnosis of anxiety and ADHD. It sounds crazy, but once we got her underlying issues addressed with a combo of meds and therapy, her appetite seems to be going somewhat back to normal. I don't know if it was anxiety-induced or if she has a lack of impulse control. Either way, the only way we were able to get her the help she needed was because we have good insurance and I have the flexibility to cart her all over town to various appointments. Additionally, it's expensive as fuck to have all of the tests and evals and appointments. So yeah, if we were poor and/or had a situation where we didn't have the bandwidth to take her to professionals to dig out the real issues, then she would just be obese. Period. And that's not neglectful parenting, it's survival. I think it depends on a couple of factors. Growing up, I've had some friends that were large because of genetics, but also because a lack of self-control. My best friend growing up had an obese little sister, and it was heartbreaking to watch BC. It was the parents' fault. She still would have been a big girl genetics-wise, but certainly not obese. Her parents used to let her eat anything and everything she wanted. Once she got older, it was stupid hard for her to lose that weight. She still struggles, and it's 18 years later. This was honestly me. I was 245 pounds by age 14. I have struggled with my weight my entire life, and I'm now 31. It was also a medication I was put on for seizures that caused weight gain and increased appetite. But my mom never monitored it. She never had anything to say about me being fat other than that I should love myself and not let people's ridicule get to me. It was neglect. But not all cases are this simple to diagnose. There are certainly other factors that go into child obesity. American society generally thinks chubby babies and small kids are adorable, so we tend to not do anything about it until it's too late. We also have decreased in physical activity as we tend to put kids in front of screens and then wonder why they never want to go outside. All that would do is add stress to the already overburdened system. People should not be penalized. They should be educated and supported. Criminalizing it and taking kids away wouldn't help anything. It's not as cut and dry as that. Combined with other factors, it could be an indicator of neglect. But a fat kid doesn't mean an abusive parent. Yes, America is fat. 70% of the country is overweight or obese. It's not just genetics. I love how, as a country, our immediate reaction to problems is jail instead of education and informed regulation. Like, how about we do more to teach parents and kids about nutrition? How about we make the cheap, widely available foods healthier instead of bundles of carbs with disappearing caloric density? Why not encourage making more outdoor, public spaces where kids can run outside and be fucking kids instead of more suburban and corporate sprawl? But wait, regulation and education sounds like it's impinging on freedoms and big government. So it's better to leave parents who already have enough on their plates alone to flounder and figure it out themselves. We need to get our collective heads out of our asses. In some cases possibly. In most I assume ignorance on the true impacts of nutrition. I was very much ignorant of it until my liver got pissed at me. They don't truly teach it in US schools. Not as they should. The next part is it costs a lot to eat properly. the unprocessed foods, the recipes, the time, etc. all work against parents. Then the fact that parenting does not come with a manual and not everyone had great examples in their own life. I think we could do better to support and educate parents, and we should not jump to labels of abuse and neglect easily. I think genes play a part, but yes, parents should feed their children accordingly. I was an overweight kid and I'm pretty sure my parents fed me a lot because it was their way of showing me love. I don't think they did it to abuse me. 100% you've messed that kid's life up. Same as a pet, it's abuse. I had family friends that were morbidly obese and had a kid that we watched get just as fat. We would see what and how the kid was being fed. Being fat is avoidable. People, especially those with lower incomes, have an unfortunate lack of knowledge about nutrition and diet. And when you're busy working or have less money, time, it gets much easier to feed the family cheap frozen food or fast food takeout. I don't think it's as much child abused rather than lacking the understanding or ability to do better in many situations. I think in some cases,
it can be.
It should be. Yes, obesity is a disease, and in children it's the parents' fault. It's not as simple as it sounds. Each case is different and have to be analyzed individually. Sometimes is neglect, others not so much. Flip side to this is all the adults who have trauma from parents who has tried to control their diets too much when they were young, make them feel fat for wanting snacks, and so forth. I think you cannot make judgment calls on if a parent is abusive by looking at the size of the child. There is more nuance to that. I think fat shaming is one of the few judgmental behaviors society does that is still socially acceptable, so we tend to look for reasons to justify it. But calling overweight kids abused is not going to help the childhood obesity problems we currently have. Yes, untreated eating disorders in children are neglectful. Maybe not abuse, more of neglect of not caring why your child is being overweight or not bothering to change the diet, but it can be a little abusive.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. TooAfraidToAsk is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.